Hey guys, it's Colton. How are you doing today? Today we're going to be talking about how I learned French / still learning French because I don't think you're going to ever stop learning a language. So I'll show you a nice pretty picture here. It accurately describes the bilingualism of Canada, and you can see in the lighter parts of Canada that is all monolingual, which means English. And the rest shows the bilingualism of French. And as you can see, most of Canada is monolingual. I unfortunately do not come from the bilingual part, so I had to learn French by myself. In the province that I am from, it is a requirement to start French when you are in grade 4. So when I was 9 years old, I started to learn French. And the curriculum requires that you take it up until grade 9, so that's until you are 14 years old. And after that, you have the choice to drop the course. Most people decide to drop the course because after 5 years of learning French, you know random vocabulary, and you pretty much just know how to say, hello, how are you, my name is... Why is it this way, do you ask? Because in Canada, we normally have French like once or twice a week until you get to grade 9, and then once you're in grade 9, you only have French once a semester. So then you go a whole like half a year / summer of not speaking French whatsoever, and then you come back not knowing anything. So after grade 9, I actually was going to drop French, but then since I was going into the IB program, they required that you had to have a second language, so instead of Spanish, I chose French. So even after taking French for so many years, from when I was 9 years old until I was 17 years old, I still could not have a good conversation. In school, we focus a lot on grammar, so my written and my understanding of written French was okay, better than my oral French. So when I went to university, I was like, yes, I'm going to take some French, I'm going to improve, I'm going to become bilingual, this is a goal. So then I decided to take the French test, and I got placed in second year French.
So I pretty much like died.
Because I couldn't speak, I could only like write, and I knew grammar and shit, and that was it. So up until this point, all I was doing was learning French in a school setting. But after the school setting, I wouldn't go home and I wouldn't practice French, which was my biggest mistake. And which is why it has taken me so long to become fairly proficient in French. Then after my first year of university, I decided I needed to take this into my own hands if I wanted to improve my French level. So what did I do? I went to the French speaking part of Canada, and I took a month-long French course, and at this point I was intermediate level. I still couldn't really have a conversation, but yeah. So I learned the Quebec expressions, I started to gain the Quebec accent, so my entire French started to change. I started becoming less and less English to more and more Quebecois in this sense. Then I came back to school and I didn't take French at university. I decided that I just wanted to learn it by myself because it wasn't fun anymore when I was taking it in class. And I think that's like one of the main points, is that it needs to be fun for you. If it's not fun for you, find a way to make it fun. A year later, I decided that I would like to come to France to study, and here I am, I completed my goal. So now I've been in France for about 6.5 months, and I have learned so much of my French here. My accent has completely changed. I don't have any more of the Quebec accent, and now I sound more French than anything, I guess. So I'm just gonna give you some resources that I have used that I found have helped me in my language learning. So the first one, which is very, very common, is Duolingo. I use this website mostly for vocabulary, not for sentence structure or grammar. Duolingo is also good for a speaking aspect and a comprehension aspect because they give you the option to listen and to repeat. The second website that I'm going to tell you about, I've actually just discovered very recently, and I am like obsessed with it. And basically what you do on this website is you have the option to write or correct. And for the writing portion, you can write about whatever you want. I like to write about my days, and then this way I gain more vocabulary. And once you finish writing your paragraph or your passage, native speakers can come and correct your passage, which is super, super helpful. So you get the writing skills and you get the corrections that come with it. And you can also go correct people in your native language. And this website is not just good for French, this is good for whatever language that you are learning. So to improve my comprehension and my oral speaking, I normally just try to, because I'm in France, I don't know if you guys have the option, but on Netflix I have the English-French option of each movie pretty much. So I just dub it over in French. As annoying as it is, just seeing like the mouth moving and then they're speaking a different language, you actually get used to it. So it's not that bad, and I find that that has helped my comprehension like a ton. And one last thing that I would recommend, which is actually like just a pain in the ass, is read books, read newspapers. If there are any words that you don't know, just underline them. Write words down that you don't know in your phone. Look them up later. So another helpful tip is forcing yourself to think in the target language. This is very difficult, and you'll consciously need to be thinking about what you're thinking about, which can get tiring, but trust me, this helps. And this way, you can find out in which areas you are lacking vocabulary, and then this way you can write it down on your phone, you can write down in a notebook, write down the words that you don't know, write down the phrases that you don't know, and then you look it up later, maybe you verify with a French friend, and then you memorize that sentence. But also, it might make you seem crazy, which I think I am, because I do this. I'll be walking around and I'm just going through scenarios in my head, like what happens if I went to the grocery store? What would I say to the cashier person? What would I say if I went to a restaurant? What would I say if I just met someone on the street who spoke French? And this way you're coming up with scenarios, and then when this scenario arises, you already know what you'd like to say because you've already been over it before. Another thing is with pronunciation. I just go around, if I hear someone say something, then I try to repeat that word in that accent, which makes me also sound crazy. Because I'm on the tram and I'm just like repeating a word over and over again, or a sentence over and over again, and I'm sure the people on the tram are just like, okay, well that is it for today, and don't forget to subscribe because I come out with videos pretty often. Also, comment below any challenges that you've had learning a language, what your methods are, which websites you'd like to share, which resources, because everyone looks in the comments, so this way we can help everybody. Okay, bye! Okay, bye.